Although smell and odor are technically synonymous, apparently the word smell has some negative connotations, perhaps in the American context. Pero actually sa atin, pag sinabi mong odor, usually bad odor ang ibig sabihin. So, negative pa rin, no? Either way. So, we can use either. Sometimes you can use aroma, but again, it's supposed to be specific to a food product. And when you say fragrance, they refer to cosmetics or perfumes. So we perceive odor or aroma when volatile compounds enter the nasal cavity and is perceived through our olfactory system, where we have olfactory cells with those nose hairs called cilia, and these pick up information on the substances, and this is translated in the brain kung anong mga amoy iyon. And since there are millions of different aromatic compounds, typically, um, for most foods, mahirap siyang i-distinguish. There are some chemicals na very distinctive na nagbibigay ng karamihan ng aroma perception sa isang product, like let's say limonene in lemons, vanillin, etc., butyric acid in butters and the like. But most smells are complex and are made up of different varying intensities of multiple compounds. So, paano ba tayo nakakaamoy? It starts with odor molecules in the air being carried up to our nostrils and then in our olfactory bulb. So, there are receptors where these odor molecules bind, and each receptor produces different proteins, binder proteins. And kapag nag-bind doon yung odor molecules, they send a signal to the olfactory cortex. So actually napaka-complicated ng process na ito, but we know that it happens almost instantaneously. And of course, when dumating na sa utak natin yung aroma na yon, yung smell na yon, um, tinatry natin i-recall kung na-associate natin siya sa something. So, tulad ng merong tip of the tongue phenomena, meron din tayong tinatawag minsan na tip of the nose phenomena where alam mo yung amoy na yun, pero unless nakita mo yung actual na product, minsan di mo siya ma-associate directly, no? Na halimbawa, alam mong vanilla yung amoy ng sabon mo, pero minsan may isip mo, ano to, amoy chocolate ba to or what? Kasi na-associate mo siya sa ice cream and then you often eat vanilla and chocolate. So parang ganon, no? So when smelling food products, it's generally advisable to use bunny sniffs or quick sniffs. So alam mo naman yung ilong ng kuneho pag gumagalaw, ayoko nang i-demonstrate, no? Pero nai-imagine nyo naman yon. So this forcefully sends air into our nostrils, allowing us to um, smell the product in question. And the average human can actually recognize up to around 10,000 separate odors, but identifying them is a separate issue. So recognition kasi is saying, alam ko tong amoy na to. But recognition is saying, this is Chardonnay wine, or ito yung amoy ng tilapia ang niluluto ng nanay ko na sinaing sa gata or something. And then genetically speaking, there are at least 100 different genes related to olfaction and around 1,000 separate receptors of protein. So actually, meron mga tao talaga na mas keen yung sense of smell. Generally, sabi nila mas keen daw ang sense of smell ng mga babae, no? And part of this is genetic in nature, yung differences na yan. So we have a term called retronasal smelling. Ito yung pag-sense ng flavors or aromatic compounds na nasa loob na ng bunganga mo through the nasal cavity. Alam mo yun yung pag may ininom ka or kinakain ka tapos maamoy mo siya from inside your mouth, or pag if you try to contain, nag-burp ka and tinry mo i-contain yung sound para hindi malakas, parang may maamoy ka sa loob ng lalamunan mo, no? Or maybe sometimes when you try drinking Coke, is maamoy mo yung Coke sa loob ng bibig mo. So, uso ngayon sa panahon ng COVID, yung sinasabing wala kang maamoy or wala kang malasahan. And anosmia is a disease, is a condition for the partial or total loss of the sense of smell. So, this may be um, temporary or some people are born with it. There are people with selective anosmia na may mga bagay silang hindi maamoy. Pero generally may amoy naman sila, naamoy naman lang ibang substances. So this could be caused by diseases or infections and sometimes with aging ay humihina rin ang pang-amoy ng tao. So specific anosmia is a condition wherein the individual statistically has a different threshold for smelling something compared to normal people, no? So, and this could be a specific insensitivity lang to um, certain compounds. And madali naman itong i-test, no? And it doesn't mean na hindi mo talaga siya naamoy, pero it may take a much higher concentration for you to even detect that odor. Minsan siguro ay maganda itong blessing kung yung specific na aromatic compound na insensitive to ka ay isang mabahong compound. But then again, that would mean you'd be at a loss kasi hindi mo mapapansin yung napapansin na ng ibang tao. So here's an example of an aroma wheel for wine. So if you can see, no, yung pinakaloob, nandun yung may parang major categories or descriptors mo, tapos may subcategories sila for each one. And then dun sa pinaka-outer part is ano yung mga bagay that would be used to describe or refer to the specific adjectives used, no? So generally, when you try to describe, let's say, a wine, then you would pick out the descriptors na naga-apply doon because not all wines have that fruity note or something, or other wines may have a stronger caramel note. So, descriptive siya kasi unless you're a trained panelist, mahirap i-quantify. Pero at least you can have that sort of profiling. Honestly, ako personally ay hindi ako mahilig sa mga ganto since I often need a lot of exposure. Now, although when I was in the ice cream industry, I was able to at least become familiar with the flavor and odors used in all of our ice cream products since araw-araw ko silang tinitimpla. And in that 2 years, nag-improve naman konti yung aking perception. So if you're going into this area na magiging flavor or odor scientist kayo, it would take a lot of training. No? Hindi porket may BSFT degree na kayo ay expert na kayo dyan. Usually flavor companies require a lot of experience, like 5 years or more, from their prospective hirees. They rarely ever hire fresh graduates unless you're someone so exceptional or lumaki ka na kaya mong mag-identify ng maraming mga amoy-amoy ng pagkain.